Yeah, I fucking did it. Yeah, I fucking said it. You can look on Reddit. I don't know the Reddit.
It's not a bad song.
No, it's fantastic.
It's great.
No, I was like, every week there's like a million tweets that are like, oh my God, music didn't exist before this show. And I was like, I mean, it's hip hop music. Like,
it's good.
It's well suited.
Music. Yeah, and it goes with the show. It's not like the first and only thing.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Euphoria, Season 2, Episode 2, Out of Touch. I did love this. Not a ton happened. Actually, we were doing a lot of the, like...
chess.
Well, we were sort of, like, deconstructing and reestablishing ways. Like, because that premiere just dumped us into Season 2.
Right in the middle, yeah.
And so this was more like a premiere than that was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to, at the very least, read the Wikipedia of Season 1 because I don't remember anything. Maddie has the DVD of Cal and Jules.
Yeah.
And she knows.
I'm pretty sure she watched it because that's part of the reason she broke up with Nate.
Does Jules know that she knows about it?
I don't know.
Because they're friends in this episode.
Yeah, but she wouldn't not be friends with her because she fucked Nate's dad. Maddie steals the video of Kat and Jules that Nate has in his possession, goes home to watch it, and is shocked by what she sees. So yes, I guess she does know for sure that it's Cal and Jules.
But also, I think Maddie's a bad person who still says the R word in 2022.
She did do that. Yeah.
She's also a dumbass because she's like babysitting, which is a good job for her. Yeah. Like
for Minka Kelly, who, by the way, looks fucking incredible.
I was gonna be like, she's pretty.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it might be Minka Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Like she might be playing herself.
Oh, it's like, no, it's 100% Minka Kelly. Yeah.
She's like babysitting and tries on like all of her clothes and jewelry at the same time. It was really weird.
Look, okay. As someone who used to babysit and has also just like been in my own home, and my mom had a couple of nice things. You try on one thing.
I've rummaged around a little bit, but...
Try on one thing, take it off, hang it back up. Try on the next thing, take it off, hang it back up. Don't try it all on and then just like lie it around the closet. Ridiculous. Come on, Maddie.
But no, because I did think it was odd. I couldn't quite remember what the social hierarchy was, but I guess that's also kind of part of it because we get a scene with Maddie and Jules and Kat and Ethan. They all go like bowling. And I was sort of like, are these girls friends? And I was like, and it's that point in high school where it's like, yeah, you have friends that are your friends because they're the people that you're friends with, but you're also still figuring out who you are. So as that change, you start prioritizing what you want to do more so than who you want to be with sometimes. It's like...
But there's like in the finale at the like winter formal in Season 1, they all the girls go together.
I guess
They're all there together.
I guess so. It just it seemed kind of strange to me, but Cassie is going through it.
I feel so bad for Cassie. Cassie doesn't deserve it.
Well, doesn't she? I mean,
no, she doesn't because she just look, I love Alana Ubach so much. She is so great at her job and she's amazing acting. Their mother is worthless.
As evidenced by the scene where
just letting Eric Dane menace your teenage daughters. Fucking unbelievable. And I absolutely...
You don't talk to her. You talk to me. Like he was a cop.
Obsessed with the fact that Lexi was like, snitches get stitches. I'm not saying anything. And then Cassie was like, it was Fezco. So maybe Cassie does deserve it a little.
And I love this is what I had been waiting for so long is even though I don't like any of these characters, I do like sort of seeing it feels very, very regal. Like it feels like mythology, history, like especially when you add in like the drug dealing and the guns and the stuff. It's very Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, where it's like, I don't know when or where we are.
Yeah.
And Lexi, I really liked that. That's an interesting character trait that I don't think gets explored in much media, certainly not mainstream pop culture media, and also certainly not for attractive female characters, that a personality trait and flaw of hers is weakness, is like,
or just like silence,
cowardice.
Yeah.
Like she's too afraid to do anything, and that she just sort of, there's even a montage of her just
like doing nothing. Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting because, I mean, it be like that sometimes.
It do be like that. And I think the other thing that I like about her character, and also this like sort of blossoming friendship /
romance,
quasi-romance with Fez, is that is a trope that I love. The like overachieving goody two-shoes and the like, you know, tramp with the heart of gold, except that it's elevated to he is like a murdering drug gangster.
It's not overwritten.
No.
Like that entire scene in the gas station was done with just facial expressions and like sound cues and stuff. Like there wasn't dialogue. She just she wanted to be near him.
Yeah. Well, and I think she was going to tell him that, I mean, I think Cal knew it was him.
That was one of many things she would have said, but she said none of them.
Yeah. The song that she was listening to, or that cued when she was riding her bike over there, was, I think, my favorite one of the episode. Yeah. I don't remember what it was called, but it was very good. But I think, that was definitely part of the reason. I think she wanted to go and be like, my sister fucking sold you out. But then she saw Cal, like, almost immediately. And
well, he's also so much more interesting than I think he needs to be.
He's definitely more interesting than he needs to be. I'm fucking tired of him, though.
Tired of him? What do you mean?
I like Eric Dane. I don't necessarily think he's got the chops for this.
Oh, but it's working for me. I don't know, because he seems...
It's working for me only because he's mostly quiet, like he's mostly silent. It just doesn't, I can't, and this is probably a failing of mine, but I can't get the McSteamy out of it.
Yeah, I never watched Grey's Anatomy, so it's not an issue for me. I don't know, it's very interesting because there was that, we're all over the place, but so is the show. There was that hideous montage of Nate, and well, it's actually started out great, the Nate and Cassie montage. Because I also appreciated there was like several. It started off with just actually very beautiful sex glamour shots, and it's been a minute since we've gotten that,
like erotica.
Yeah, and like in particular, I don't know if it has one of those fancy words, but it's like something I love. I love when you can see like body hair in the light. It's just very sort of like, ooh,
yeah.
But then it goes into this weird like pregnancy fantasy that I hated.
It was very like, do you remember in season 1 where...
I'm surprised Nate wasn't pregnant in the fantasy.
All I need is for Euphoria to turn into an M-preg fanfic. No, do you remember in season 1 where Nate bought Maddie that like absurd negligee? And we were like, barf. I felt very like that about this when he's like, I could imagine having babies with you. And we literally all three of us were like, ugh!
One of our comment friends asked, I meant to respond and I just didn't get to it. But he was like, do you think Nate's gay? And it's like, yes, but it's like it's not as simple as that in my mind.
In that case, I would think that Nate is bisexual because he enjoys having sex with women.
It's not that I think he's gay. It's that I think he has severe like clinical issues when it comes to gender and sexuality.
Well, and then he had that whole thing where, because it was like a Rue voiceover, but it was like Nate thought that he would be able to raise a baby better than his father and like wouldn't fuck it up. And I'm like, Nate should be sterilized. He has no business having children.
And I just sort of, I guess I don't understand his motives. Does he have them?
I have no idea what Nate's whole deal is, because he's also, he tells Cassie more than once that they can't talk about the fact that they had sex at the party, and that like Maddie will kill her and try to kill him, and like they can't talk about it and they can't be together. And then he picks her up and takes her
menaces her for
and then takes her to a faraway second location full of half-built homes, and that's where he chooses to be like, we can't ever talk about this or do this again, blah, 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 whatever. And then she runs away and he chases her and then they fuck in a house while he continues to menace her, because then he goes, what do you think Maddie would say if she knew? And it's just like, why is this happening? What is going on?
So it's like, I have a theory that this show is just sort of, it's presenting high school drama the way it feels versus the way it is.
Sure.
Because it feels like that when you're in the middle of it.
Because that's the other thing too. Cassie texts Nate and says, I think it was a mistake that we had sex. And he calls her immediately and says, don't ever put that in writing again. To which I'm like, what do you think they're going to find it in Hillary's Benghazi emails? Like, what are we, how far a reach do you think this is going to have? You had sex with another girl, you're broken up from Maddie,
sure.
and you had sex with another girl.
Of all the things that and
out of all the things Nate and his dad have done, this is the very least of the crimes.
Because they even were like, she was drunk, but not that drunk.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and I think probably my favorite part of this episode is that Cal and his wife, Nate's mom, are like sitting on the couch.
I don't remember if we really met her.
We did at there was like a barbecue or like a chili cook-off.
Sure, she seems to be completely aware of Nate.
She literally goes,
I wonder what he did.
I just have to wonder if it was really unprovoked. And Cal was like, that's our son. And she was like, yeah, but still.
Precisely.
And I just I want to know how this like normal woman got roped into this horrific family, because it appears.
Well, we're going to find out next week. Yeah. I'm excited.
It does look good.
So
it does look like an interesting flashback to young Cal and his friend.
Mm-hmm. Had a friend like that. Cat had a particularly, she's a New Year, same cat.
So I remember really liking the cat episode in season 1, and specifically because she had written the like Harry Styles fan fiction that went like super viral on Tumblr or whatever. It was super funny. This episode is not quite as good, and it's not a cat centric episode, or this cat stuff, but it was so funny.
She's grappling with the fact that Ethan, by all accounts, is a like great boyfriend, but she's just not into it.
Yeah.
Like, she's just sort of like, well, I should like this, so I'm going to try. Yeah. And she has a like Game of Thrones fantasy with Brock O'Hearn.
He's hot.
Yeah,
he's
super
like hot. Apparently, he's in season 1. She has a fantasy with him in season 1.
That seems
because he's credited the same way.
And were they were in the gymnasium, I think I remember it now. But then she gets just absolutely accosted by social media influencers screaming affirmations at her, and it was too realistic.
Yeah,
like it was too relatable.
Well, it feels like being on the internet. It feels like trying to tackle your own mental health.
That's what Twitter sounds like.
Yeah, so it feels like trying to tackle your own mental health in the year 2022 as a millennial with no health insurance, so you can't afford a therapist, so you're just absorbing everything you can on the internet, trying to make your brain better, and you can't, and then you feel
Then you
worse.
just are even madder at yourself.
And then you feel worse because you can't fix yourself, and then you're like, well, maybe I just haven't found the right thing yet, and so you keep looking and looking and looking and looking, and everyone's just screaming at you to love yourself, and you're like, I physically can't. It's a lot. Barbie Ferreira is also very good.
Yeah. We also got the greatest character ever back in the form of Faye.
Yeah, Faye.
she killed a motel manager?
I don't know if he's dead, but she knocked him off the second floor balcony.
Because he was mean, I guess.
Yeah.
And so her boyfriend, which that was not Mouse, they called him something else.
Custer.
Yeah. He like shoved her in a vent, and then Fezco had to go pick her up
behind the Taco Bell dumpster.
It was a lot. I was actually a little bit worried that we were going to lose her when she OD'd again. But yeah, we touched on it, but we didn't really finish it. Cal did show up to menace Fezco, and all but he said it without saying it. And I don't think we've seen the last of it.
Yeah, although I do like that then when Nate got home from going down on Sydney Sweeney in an abandoned or half-built house, he was like, "You want to tell me why a drug dealer beat you up?" And in the first place, he's a fucking drug dealer. How hard do you want me to fight back? You know he's got a switchblade or something. And then he was like, "Oh, are we gonna have Nate came in guns blazing because he was like, "Oh, you want to talk about it? Okay, cool. How come you're
14th of all?
Yeah, how come you're fucking a girl at my school?" And so it is kind of at this point like a mutually assured destruction. And like weirdly, Nate was not telling anybody that it was Fez, which I thought was interesting, but I don't know.
I wonder if he knows he deserved it.
I don't know. I just like. I feel like they're kind of trying.
I genuinely don't want Nate gone. Like, I don't want him not on the show, but it's a struggle.
Hard. Yeah.
It's a struggle.
That's the thing is, like, at this point, I feel like they're trying to, like, humanize him in a way, but I feel like they have so much more work to do if I'm meant to be feeling any sort of sympathy. The farthest my sympathy goes is that Cal is his dad, and that must have really sucked. And so I can sort of see how he came by all of his stuff, honestly.
Cal, and maybe this is the part that it's patented for me. It's like, maybe this is the part I'm falling for, but it's like Cal still... Like he's like fucks up and he like does like
child pornography.
He didn't know she was in high school. Well, she shouldn't have been. That is a thing.
She definitely shouldn't have been there, but I think he paid her too, didn't he? It was like, I thought it was like on a.
Did he pay her? I don't remember.
Maybe it was just on Grindr or something.
He like seems like he tries to parent. Like he seems like he tries to like have the Does he? Am I that off?
I mean, he tries, but he's doing it super wrong.
He like is like, do we need to talk? Like, I don't know. He says and does so many of the things that I think it's like. I think if Nate weren't a psychopath, this wouldn't be.
But I think he came from his psychopathy from Cal.
I mean, I
think it's hereditary.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. The whole thing is weird.
The thing about, Cal is absolutely a criminal because he is also recording all of these sex acts without telling the people. So, like, even leaving aside the child pornography, if he didn't know that Jules was too young, he is recording all of these people that he is doing very aggressive sexual acts to.
But because for her, it wasn't the young thing that he was after. It was I'm sure it was a factor, but it was the trans thing.
That's part of it. He was having sex with all shapes and sizes.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's all very, very bizarre. Yeah. And
I think the thing is, he's like play acting being a parent, but there's nothing behind it. So he's like going through the motions of parenting Nate, but he has no idea
that he does care though.
I think he knows he's supposed to care.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then weirdly, Rue is the element that I'm kind of like, what are we doing with this?
She's just still doing drugs. Like, I wish she was clean. And I mean, like, Coleman Domingo was back in this episode, and he's always welcome. I like him a lot, and he like insisted that he meet Rue's mom, which was fun.
It was nice. Because Rue and Elliot, she's kind of cheating on.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't done anything like romantic yet. They're just getting high together. But...
No, but for Rue it is.
Yeah.
She's using him
as for like emotional
as a drug as well,
support,
which is what she was doing with Jules, and Jules fucking knows it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just very strange. And I am curious. This is Euphoria. I shouldn't pull at the string, but I am curious about who the 16-year-old with 3 face tattoos is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, even Fez doesn't have a face tattoo, does he?
But yeah, I did like the thing because it is an interesting trope because Rue and Elliot really hit it off, and he says at one point, he was like, "Are we sure that we just don't like bring out the worst in each other?" Like,
yeah.
So I don't know.
I do love, this is totally unrelated, but I love that Ashtray stopped talking to Fez because he brought Faye home. He like wouldn't even talk to him. It was very funny.
I'm curious what she's going to end up having to do something.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
There must be something.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. So, And then Jules and her dad, she's currently grounded, and he kind of like checked in with her a little bit, but she just like, she should be better.
Yeah.
She's running with just a real dangerous crowd.
Yeah. She is.
So can you remember if there's anything else that needs to be?
Nothing huge. We talked about Lexi and Cassie and Maddie and Kat. Yeah, we hit everything, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, well, this is a strange show to recap, but actually no, I mean we just sort of talk about what happened.
Yeah.
So I am very excited for next week. I want to see what that's gonna be like.
Flashback episode about Cal.
But there's gonna be modern day stuff too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They do a lot with that runtime. So all right, well, you can like and subscribe and Patreon, and thanks and welcome and goodbye.